According to new syllabus, Economics Intermediate Part 1. Objective questions. Which economics is called founder of economics? Adam Smith. According to new classical economics, economic is science of material welfare. Common behavior of people is called economic law. Human behavior on the basis of unlimited wants and limited resources is called economics. Conditions which are kept constant in order to make true economic laws called assumptions. In economics, after observation and analysis, state the facts as they are is called positive science. According to Alfred Marshall, economics is social science on the violation of which law there is no penalty nor any resistance is faced. Economic law, according to which economic view is a sense of notion and mentation. New classical, in which branch of economics aggregative behavior of economy is analyzed. Macro, who is father of economics? Adam Smith. According to Adam Smith, economics is science of wealth. Who is founder of classical school of thought? Adam Smith. Professor Adam Smith classified his book Wealth of Nations into how many parts? 4. Who is founder of new classical school of thought? Marshall. Nature and Significance of Economics is written by Robbins, who termed economics science of material welfare. Marshall. Economics book Wealth of Nations published in 1776. According to new classical school of thought, economics is science of material welfare. Principles of Economics is written by Alfred Marshall, which economist classified economics physical science. Robbins, which economist called economics scientific science. Robbins. Precise and scientific definition of economics was presented by Robbins. Founder of modern school of thought is Robbins, who states economics science of material welfare. Alfred Marshall. Book Principle of Economics was written during 1890. Book Nature and Significance of Economics was written during 1932. Book General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money was written by Keynes. Methods to derive economic laws are 2. Conditions, assumptions of economic laws are conditional. Conditions of economic laws are assumptions. Nature of economic law is optional. Concern of economic laws is related with economy. Which of the following is not studied in macroeconomics? Consumer behavior. Which of the following is studied in macroeconomics? International trade. Which of the given is analyzed in macroeconomics? National income. Which are studied in macroeconomics? Public finance. Which problem is not analyzed in microeconomics? National income and employment. Which of the following is not studied in microeconomics? National income. Branches of positive economics are micro and macroeconomics. Dash is not part of study of economics. Offer prayer. Short notes. Write definition of economics given by Robbins. According to Professor Robbins, economics is a science which studies human behavior as a relationship between multiple ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. Write definition of economics by Alfred Marshall. According to Alfred Marshall, economics is a science which studies human behavior which is related with the ordinary business of life. It deals with the part of individual and collective human efforts which are closely related with the attainment or with the use of material requisites of well-being. What is an economic problem? Economist says where there is a problem of choice, that is an economic problem. When there are many alternative options for choice, then the selection of the last becomes an economic problem. What are economic laws? Professor Nevin says economic laws are statements of tendencies that are likely to result from certain causes. These are related with human behavior when an action is repeated again and again and the result remains the same that become law, such as law of demand, etc. Explain the difference between micro and macroeconomics. Micro means 1 millionth part, and in this we analyze economy in individual and small units, that is consumers behaviors, supply, demand, price determination, etc. Whereas macro means large, we analyze problem at national and international level in it. National income and employment, aggregate demand, aggregate supply, etc. Discuss subject matter of economics. Economics is a vast and useful subject which covers all the aspects of life. It studies enhance human ability to resolve its problems and guides him to satisfy his limited wants with his limited resources. It provides guidelines to traders, laborers, politicians, and to finance ministers in solving their problems and rapid economic growth. Differentiate between science and art. Science is the combination of information about the realities which have been collected under neutral observation, and there is a relationship between reasons and results. Art means the application of science to attain certain purpose. For example, the student of engineering during studies learns science, but when he uses his knowledge to handle machine, he shows arts. Explain three differences between state laws and economic laws. State laws are compulsory to obey while economic laws are optional. In case of violation of state laws, there is punishment, where as in case of economic laws, there is no concept of punishment by any authority. State laws can be cancelled, whereas economic laws cannot be revoked as they are based upon common behavior of people. Why Alfred Marshall definition developed the sense of liking and disliking in human wants. According to Alfred Marshall, all economic activities are based upon material welfare of human. That's why he has developed the question of liking and disliking. Differentiate between positive and normative science. When we give neutral explanation of the causes or results of an economics problem and explain it as they are, this is called positive science, whereas normative science we not only discuss resources but also give opinion for its solution. How the word economics was originated. The word economics has been derived from the Latin words oikonomos, which means household budget. Later on, this word was used on state affairs called polos. For this reason, it was called political economics. Later on, it was regarded as economics. Economics is a science of wealth, argue. According to Adam Smith, economics is a science of wealth, but this statement created so much misconception as others mistakenly believed of wealth money alone as wealth. Wealth by itself is not a bad or good, but its use makes it so. It can be spent on welfare projects or on wasteful projects, whereas anything which carry utility, scarcity, and transferability is called wealth. Who were classical economists? Adam Smith was the founder of classical school of thought, and his contemporaries were J.S. Mill, N.W. Senior, Malthus, Ricardo, F.A. Walker. According to these classical economics, economics is a science of wealth. There is always full employment level in any economy. They are in favor of non-interference of government in the economic affairs of state. There is no concept of overproduction. Supply creates its own demand. Explain four pillars of economics given the definition of economics by Adam Smith. According to Adam Smith, there are four pillars of economics, that is production of wealth, consumption of wealth, distribution of wealth, exchange of wealth. What is meant by production of wealth and consumption of wealth? Production of wealth means production of such goods and services which have the ability to satisfy human wants, and also price is paid for them. Consumption of wealth means to get utility by the consumption of produced goods and services. When any person spends his income for the satisfaction of wants and needs on the goods and services, then it is called consumption of wealth. Right, three merits of the definition given by Marshall. Social science concerned with daily routine activities coincides with modern definitions. Wealth as a source of material welfare economics. Right, three demerits of definition of Marshall. Economic problems of all persons are not covered. Division of activities are irrational. Ambiguous concept of welfare. Enlist keywords of the definition given by Robbins. The definition have following keywords: multiple and scarce resources, alternative uses of resources, and differ in importance. Right, four merits of the definition of economics given by Robbins: more realistic, comprehensive and scientific, broader scope, and neutral science, positive science. Explain the difference between Marshall and Robbins' point of view. Marshall includes only those human efforts in economics which are related with the attainment of material requisites of human well-being, whereas Professor Robbins includes both material and non-material requisites which relate with fulfillment of human wants. What is positive science? If we give a neutral explanation of the causes and results of an economic problem and explain the things as they are, then it is called positive science. What is normative science? The neutral study about realities of any unit of universe and establishment of relationship between reasons and results, and also adding up opinion or suggestion about this relationship is normative science. So when we give opinion that what ought to be is normative science. Write five features of economic laws. Lack exactness of accuracy. Economic laws are conditional, optional, unpredictable, no fine or punishment if not obeyed. Compare economic laws with physical science laws. Laws of physical sciences such as chemistry, physics, etc., related with matter and repeated exercise will give the same result. For example, laws of gravity and H2O. On the other hand, economic laws relate with human behavior and state of mind, so they cannot be exact, universal, and permanent. What are the methods to derive economic laws? There are two methods to derive economic laws: deduction method, induction method. Define applied economics. Theories, laws are policies explained in theoretical economics. When applied to resolve a particular problem of a country is called applied economics. Here, methodologies are developed to solve economic problems after analyzing its resources and needs. Explain the difference between inductive and deductive method. In inductive method, we move from particular to general. For example, Ahmed has died because he was human being, so all human beings are mortal. In induction method, we move from general to particular. For example, man is mortal and Ahmed is also human being, so he is also mortal. Write 4 points of practical study of economics. Solution of economic problems, guidance for politicians, helps and guide consumers, help entrepreneurs.